Good evening. You're a good-looking group. You're beautiful, handsome, and I feel so unaddressed. I spent most of the day on the floor of the house, and I didn't have time to run home and redress. But Maxine, I'm delighted and pleased to be here. You heard from my good friend Robin Kelly. And Robin, thank you for those kind words of introduction. I didn't grow up in a big city like Chicago, or New York, or LA, or Detroit. It is true that I grew up in rural Alabama, 50 miles from Montgomery, outside of a little town called Troy. My father was a sharecropper, a tenant farmer. Maxine, like you, I was born at home. Midwife delivered me. I'm the third in a family of 10 children. 6 brothers and 3 sisters. I grew up with grandparents, great-grandparents, uncles, and aunts. But in 1944, when I was 4 years old, and I do remember when I was 4, my father had saved $300, and a man sold him 110 acres of land. We still own that land today. On this farm, we raised a lot of cotton and corn, lots of peanuts, hogs, cows, and chickens. And sometime I would be out there working in the field in the hot sun, gathering peanuts, pulling corn, picking cotton. And my mother would say, "Boy, you need to catch up. You're falling behind." And I would say, "This is hard work." And she would say, "Hard work never killed anybody." I said, "Well, it's about to kill me." Growing up there on that farm, growing up in rural Alabama, we didn't have health insurance. And I saw so many people, so many relatives dying before their time. We had burial insurance. People were preparing to die and not to live. Health care is a right. It's not a privilege for the few, for the rich. And I want to thank each and every one of you for all that you do to help provide health care for all of our people. For those that have been left out and left behind, when we were beaten, arrested, and jailed during the 60s, whether we were sitting in, going on a freedom rides, or marching, there were nurses and doctors, minorities, coming to our rescue. When I was beaten on that bridge on March 7, 1965, 53 years ago, I thought I saw death. I thought I was going to die. I don't know how I made it back across that bridge. I had a concussion there. I gave a little blood, but apparently a group carried me back to the little church. And someone asked me to say something to the audience. And I stood up and said something like, "I don't understand it, how President Johnson can send troops to Vietnam and cannot send troops to Selma to protect people who only desire to register to vote." The next thing I knew, I'd been transferred or transported to the Good Samaritan Hospital, operated by a group of nuns. Hadn't been for those nuns, 17 of us could have died. And 2 years ago, I had an opportunity to travel to Rochester, New York, to the mother house of the Sisters of St. Joseph. And 3 of the nuns that had taken care of us, they were there. They recognized me. And they said, "How you doing, John?" I said, "I'm doing well. I'm living." They cried, they hugged me, and I cried too. But too many of our people have been left out and left behind when it comes to health care. And I want to thank those under 40 to get out there and stand up, and speak out, and provide health care for all of our people. It doesn't matter whether we're black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American. We are one people, we are one family. We all live in the same house. Not just the American house, but the world house. And we must look out for each other. My sister Maxine is so right. There are forces trying to take us back. But we come too far. We're not going back. We're going forward. The men and women of medicine must get out there and push and pull and see that all of us get out and participate in the democratic process. Use the vote. Look what happened in Alabama because of black women. It would be the young people, our children, that will help get us there. Now, during the 60s, I got arrested a few times, about 40. And since I've been in Congress, another 5 times. And the way things going here in America today, I'm going to get arrested again for something. You're right, brother. I truly believe that's when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to stand up, do something, say something, speak up, and find a way to get in the way, find a way to get in good trouble, necessary trouble. Thank you so much for this great honor.